sorry, I was gonna make a weird joke. Um, man, sometimes you revisit stories about people that passed, and you're like, they passed, but we actually gave a not rest in power, but acknowledgement of arrest in O.J. Simpson. Obviously, we all know the extensive, controversial background and history of O.J. Simpson, and you know, even before that, how he was probably one of the most famous or infamous American football players of all time. And we know one of the perceptions of football players. Obviously, it is one of the most intensive sports where there's a lot of uh, physical contact, and a lot of it sometimes manifests itself in head-to-head contact. Um, but outside of just his professional background, all the things that he's spoken about in life, his actions, his decisions, leads us to this story. Family of O.J. Simpson gave a hard no to scientists asking to study his brain for CTE research. So the shade room. The longtime lawyer of O.J. Simpson opened up about how the Hall of Fame football player will be cremated according to People Malcolm Lavarge, who is also serving as the executor of Simpson's estate, said that Simpson will be cremated and that his arrangements of funeral service have yet to be finalized. Reports also say Simpson's brain will not be donated to scientific research as the family disapproved. Lavarge added that Simpson's family gave a hard no to scientists asking to study Simpson's brain for CTE or chronic traumatic what the heck encephalopathy. Now put it all together, and what does that say?
Encephalopathy.
Nice. This is brain disease that has been diagnosed in many deceased professional football players and is believed to be caused by repeated head trauma, according to the Mayo Clinic. So, like I was saying, for better or for worse, we all love. Actually, I think baseball is American pastime, but we all love good old fashioned American football. One of the most entertaining, one of the most hard fought sports, but it definitely comes with a risk. So yeah, I mean, that's the story. That's what the family has said, and you can't go against what the family says. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because we like to bump into a wide range of topics on this podcast. I don't know what topic we were talking about already, but like I said, we're no medical engineers, or we're not in the profession of science or medicine. But it's kind of interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard y'all thoughts on, or maybe there's some scriptural implication. I think I actually heard Wes says, "I have to keep everything when I pass."
I think yeah, I definitely remember him saying that.
But I guess we don't have to spend too much time on this because maybe this is just boiled down to a personal opinion or maybe a faith-based opinion. I don't know. What do y'all think when it comes to uh, you donating your remains when you pass? Do you even really have an opinion on the ethics of like studying the dead, or you think it really is just up to discretion of the? Is it up to discretion of the person that? I mean, people usually pass unexpectedly, so you think it's up to? Well, we'll get there. What do you think on the topic itself? Then we get to like whose decision it should be, whether the family can say it or whether the person should have a say in it. Because I know there's always that thing of like you can like put on your license to donate, or put on your your documentation that you can donate my organs. But anyway, what do you got? What do you think in general? What do you think, Ace?
Um, uh, in general, I just think of it from a standpoint of it seems like it would be weird for somebody to be doing all types of procedures on me after I'm dead.
But you're
Um,
dead. Who cares?
yeah, it still seems like it's not something I'll care about. Obviously, if I'm dead, but I care about it now. Being alive, I don't want to imagine my body being, um, I don't know, dissected and studied.
Even if the study on your body could lead to changes in the future.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like it's super. See, it's probably extremely selfish, but it's just weird. Like it's creepy to me. So
I feel as if your opinion comes from the fact you've read a lot of one too many science fiction related. I don't know what some of those body projects that you be reading about, but maybe that's coming into place.
that
Um,
could very well be it.
and yeah, this is definitely a hard opinion based topic. So if it's really just hey, I'm messing with that because I feel uncomfortable about it, that's gonna be fine.
But I
Um,
have been confronted with the morality question just from like there's an Aesop Rock song about it where he talks about like how almost selfish it is to not donate towards research when you die, because truly, like, what is the reason for you caring about what happens to your body after after you're dead, especially if it going to a good cause. um but yeah, even with that, like, I don't, I right now I can't get past the um personally, it just seems dis uh kind of disturbing to me.
yeah, got you. I mean, and I don't know if there's any quote unquote full on objective reason, but I know so like I was saying, like some people look at it like from a faith based thing, like just I don't know if there's an actual scriptures to point to it, but some people do believe that everything needs to be intact. So I don't know that's why but I don't know, maybe some people do have like legitimate other reasons. Maybe some people we've talked about topics. Some people believe in coming back, and if and when I come back, I want everything to be where it was.
I think you'll be fine if you come back from the dead. I'm sure
I think by that
whatever
we'll
little
probably.
whatever little problems you have with missing kidney here or there, it'll be restored. Like, you'll be good.
You think if they have the technology to bring somebody back, they have the technology to like what you call it self create a human organ.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are we
They
talking
have,
about technology or are we talking about
Humans.
biblical
I
resurrection?
thought you were talking resurrection.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I don't know that technology angle. I mean, your organs,
Well,
even if
can
they
talk
weren't
about
taken, aren't going to be restored, or they're going to decompose in the matter of like months. So unless you
well, that's
think the
why.
resurrection's coming that soon,
Sorry. Well, that's why we got. That's why people are vying for that cryogenic stuff.
Right, right. Yeah, with the cryogenics, like, yeah, if they do figure out a way to um resurrect through technology, I mean, I'm not really sure it's going to be the conscience, if you will, of the person
Oh,
that
we getting
actually
deep.
died that gets revived. Um
I
but yeah,
mean,
at that point
if you
they'll probably have the stem cells.
if you died due to like disease, like heart disease, and then they bring you back, you're why that's still your brain. If you truly, is it pretty much a fact at this point? I didn't think we'd go on this route. Is it pretty much a fact at this point? Like your not soul, but your conscience is tied to your brain.
I mean, nobody, well, scientifically, nobody has proved that. Um,
But even like I was sometimes I was into a I don't know if it was like an abortion related debate, but I listened to a conversation that Destiny was speaking on, and they were speaking about, and this it seems to be like a worldview that like people people can acknowledge like if you're like if like your liver goes bad, you can replace your liver and it's still you. If your kidney goes bad and you replace your kidney, you can replace it. It's still you. If even if your heart goes bad and they replace your heart, that's still you. But if you cut off your head, replace it with a new head, that ain't you. And they come at it from like a like no faith root in base in it.
I mean, it does make sense in that when you say it's still you, because of the, it's mostly because of the conscience behind it. And if you at least attribute thinking to the brain, then if you completely alter how that person thinks to the point where it's like unrecognized as just maybe you could say it's not that person anymore.
Well, before we get too deep into it, what about you, Ghost? Are you rocking with they people taking your brain and I guess not really. I wasn't really supposed to ask you what do you guys think about it personally, but I guess in general, what do you think about people studying brains after and body parts after people pass?
Um, I like for me, I wouldn't mind being an organ donor. Necessarily like personally, I don't really care what happens to any part of me after I die, but I do know that if my brain were to be taken, my family members probably would not be too happy with that. So that's why I would lean against away from that. Speaking from like in general, and I guess in OJ's case, like where they want his brain for CTE research, where in theory it's being
I think they
done
want his
to
brain for a
help.
lot more than football CT. They want to know what's going on in his head.
That might be true, but if we were not being cynical and saying that they wanted it for purely scientific reasons, just for the CTE, I still 100% understand why his family had a problem with it because, for one, like what you kind of implied, like people have been shitting on OJ for decades at this point, and deserved or not, guilty or not, his family has kind of had to deal with the fallout of that, and then to have scientists just come in knocking on your door after he passed and saying, "Oh, can we take his brain and look into it for CTE?" When, for one, like it feels kind of impersonal. Like there might be a net good that comes out of it, but the fact that you really don't care about him as a person at all, and you're just trying to get his brain to look at it just for the CTE, it
Oh, I
really
see what you're saying.
would rub me. It rubs me the wrong way just as an outsider. Like, and again, I do know there's some positives. Like Junior Seau was a football player who killed himself. He actually shot himself in the chest with a shotgun because he specifically stated he wanted his brain to be studied for CTE because he was in that much pain from it. That is a different scenario because the CTE can almost directly be attributed to his death, and it was his explicit wishes. Whereas this, like, they don't know if he even had CTE necessarily. And if he did, which he might, CTE now, like, the perception online is it's a bad thing, but a lot of people, like, just make kind of insensitive jokes about it. And we have, on one hand, Antonio
Yeah, I was
Brown,
about to say you see what Antonio Brown be
CTE
posting?
ESPN.
CTE ESPN.
He parlays it into like in for jokes and stuff in his brand. But a lot of people, a lot of professional fucking sports casters and uh, debaters will use CTE in their debates and like, oh, this person's acting crazy. He must have CTE, and it just comes off as really like insensitive in some ways, and like again, like when people talk about cancer, you don't really see people making jokes about cancer and all that because it's treated as a serious thing. And if
Especially when you
someone
see
had
them
brain,
commercials.
say it again.
Especially when you see them commercials.
Yeah. And when someone dies, and if this was like they wanted to take his brain and study it for cancer, if someone dies from brain cancer, they want to study his brain for future help. That would be kind of a different implication and perception than CTE because again, you don't know if he even has it. There's still a lot that needs to be researched about CTE,
Yeah.
and I guess that's I get why they want his brain because they want to
The
see
brain would help with that research.
that is true. But again, at the same time, it's like
Or it
you
could.
if I was the family could be looking at it from perspective of, oh, you think that that mentally jacked up that he had CTE, even though we don't think he showed any signs of it. That could just I don't know. That might not be the truth, but that could be something that they feel, and I would 100% get that reasoning. So I do understand the hesitation of the brain specifically, and again, it's like the brain is like how many pieces of media, science fiction or not, fake, real or not, have you seen where someone has a brain and it's hooked up to tubes and stuff, and there's a robot or something that it's controlling where their body isn't there, but the brain is. And I'm being kind of facetious with it right now, but at the same time, it's like the perception and the implication is there that if you have someone's brain, you have a piece of them as a person that you can recycle and use in some way. And I
Yeah,
get why the it could be completely false, but I get why the hesitation is there to ever grant someone that possibility.
I mean, we're getting to the point where we're developing technology where we can link the brain to technology.
Oh
Yeah, Neuralink.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Dang.
yeah.
Not only
Imagine the brain of OJ Simpson and you put an AI in it. Holy
Dog.
shite. But
Craziness.
and
science
on the
fic-
other slide too, like we were talking about whether the person is still them, if if the brain is altered or something like that. But also, is it possible for them to come back to consciousness in some, like, I don't know, but this is where I'm getting to like Black Mirror type thought processes, but like where it's almost like you make them a prisoner inside their own brain, like they
Oh
don't have a body,
shoot.
they don't have agency, they're just subject, or trapped within their brain, which is subject to whatever technology that you develop to revive it or something like that. Like,
Can we imagine? I know there's like media that displays that, but can we imagine how that feels for your
only in
brain?
a very surface level way. Like Black Mirror portrayed it as like just a brain experiencing like life basically, but in an altered way.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't think we can truly imagine what that would be. Just like your brain is conscious, but there's no body to it.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's too much more on this. I don't necessarily want to hyper focus on this, even though I mean, how can you not hyper focus on this on OJ related? Do y'all opinions change on it at all? Because and I'm not super knowledgeable on why people vie for cremation, but to be clear, they have a plan to disintegrate the body. It's not like they hold reverence to the body so much that they want it completely intact. They're planning to completely destroy it. They just don't want other people to mess with it. Does that change anything for y'all? Like, it just kind of seem like it's contradictory, or you think that could still add up and be kosher? What do you think,
No, that
Ghost?
doesn't change anything for me. I think it's the same thing, essentially.
Yeah, I think it is the same thing. Whether or not they want the body buried or cremated, it's still the impetus is still probably more so for them not to have the body tampered with by some third party.
Got it.
Yeah, if he can't use it, then no one else can.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, man, this is definitely something that can go in a bunch of different ways, and even we kind of started to dive into some of the more science fiction aspects and the more like morality aspects. I guess real quick for me, I guess I'm similar to you, Ghost, in the sense that like from an objective standpoint, I don't think I particularly care. I almost think the scientist engineering me would like to see some, not like to see, but there's a level of like I can understand why we would want to continually advance our knowledge and do things like this. Like, you know, this person passed. Let's study it so we can continually become knowledgeable and make strides in the future. The more we understand things, the better, the more we can I don't know, help be of support for them. But I think maybe not so much family. I think the thing is, I don't necessarily like when I can't necessarily fully explain why I would hold something, but I think for me it might fall more toward a faith based thing, towards like I for the most part think we should have all our facilities to the best of our ability. Like the body that the Most High gave you, it should stay to however level of intact we can keep it, even when we pass. That's my best rationalization. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, like you said, it's definitely a heavily opinion based thing. Like, it's going to largely depend on the person, their beliefs, their moral system. I guess one of the last things to ask, yeah, I mean, maybe it just boils down to a hierarchy thing. Do you think it boils down to like what the person wants and then what the family wants and then anybody else, or do you think maybe like the family should still have the highest level of input even after the person passes?
As long as the person was in their sound mind, relatively speaking, when they did die or made the request, I think what their wishes are should be granted first, and then after that, family, and then unless it's something like absolutely crazy, but barring any wild circumstances, it should be their
I want him
own
taxidermied.
request.
You know what sucks?
They wanted a Hannibal Lecter it and serve it to people, something crazy. But yeah, outside anything crazy like that.
Same thing for you, Ace?
Yeah, I agree.
You know what sucks? Sometimes I'll question like myself real quick, like, why isn't this more of a thing? Like, it seems like it's pretty much this. I think the average perception is like, no, we're not taking apart our bodies and using it for science after we die. No matter what, like across different belief systems, moralities, cultures, I think this is a pretty consistent thing. And I have to like wonder why. I think fundamentally, I think for better or for worse, we never want to be in a society where we're super pro like do whatever you want after people pass, because I think that opens the door for like weird like people try to get people organs situations. I think, and I don't know, I don't, this can't be the super concrete reason, but in the back of my mind, I think like if we were a bit more lawless when it comes to this, I think it would open the door for people to try to like, there'd be a lot of sketchy situations happening, a lot of people passing, so we can get our hands on their organs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
be like back in the day. Well, I guess that was when they were trying to study bodies, but all the grave robberies and stuff.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it kind of sucks because if we don't study humans, then we look towards the next best thing. People try to get their hands on dead primates and monkeys and stuff. Dang. What if they made a monkey football league? This is after our stuff. They made a monkey football league, put it on TV, make a business out of that, and then once the monkeys die, study them.
Oh my god. That's so insane that it might actually have survivability.
What was the movie back then?
That's
The monkey that was playing
crazy.
monkey that was playing. What was the monkey playing? Was it playing hockey?
I don't know. There was the monkey. I think about the monkey skateboarding.
He used to do a lot.
He did. What
MVP,
was that?
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Hockey's no
That's a
joke.
deep. That's a deep hole. That's a deep.
Hockey's no joke either. I wonder if they studied that monkey's brain. Anyway, before we get into some weird monkey territory, there's nothing else. We can wrap it up.